Today we have got three great wrestlers, three great names from wrestling here today. Off the record today with, first of all, let's introduce him. Davey Boy Smith is here on Off the Record. Davey Boy Smith, a.k.a. the British Bulldog, 3 different titles, tag team title, intercontinental title, first European championship. And it's going to be a little good. Do you like watching yourself, Davey Boy?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good.
When you watch yourself, though, are you like most athletes and you pick apart the good things you do and the bad things you do?
I always do good things.
Right. You're a wrestler. I forget. You don't have to necessarily give me the truth. You give me the good stuff, though. So off the record with Davey Boy Smith, but we got other wrestlers here today. We have got a great name in this country and around the world, to be sure. The Anvil is here. Jim Neidhart is here, former NFLer, and still looking like an NFLer. Oakland Raiders, am I right?
You're correct, Mike.
Lifetime Heart Foundation member, makes his home in Calgary, and it is Off the Record today with Jim Neidhart. How long have you lived in Calgary for?
Stu Hart had broke me into the wrestling business in Calgary when I was released from the Cowboys in 1980. So I've been living on, I live in Florida a little bit too, then come back in Calgary, but I'm a permanent resident there now.
That must make for interesting situations as you travel in the deep south of the United States, and we know the rivalry that has developed there. Off the record with Jim Neidhart, off the record with the Bulldog, and off the record with the honky-tonk man as well. He's cool, he's cocky, he is bad. The self-proclaimed greatest intercontinental champ. You still holding to that?
No, I hold other things now as opposed to holding a belt, but you know, I'm a Calgarian myself. I spent 3 years up there in the cold ground.
You married a Calgary girl?
First time in 1981, I married a Calgarian. Yeah, I got the best of both worlds. Now I live in Phoenix, like most of the Albertians and some of the Canadians do. They move down to Phoenix.
Like those Albertians, right?
Yeah.
So you married a Calgary woman. Your wife was Miss Calgary, is that correct?
Yeah, Miss Calgary, yeah.
Did you marry a Calgary woman?
I'm afraid so, yes.
Okay, so seems to be a common bond between the three of you. We'll talk about the women in Calgary maybe a little bit later on in the show. Let's talk about Mike Tyson, a guy who, well, I mean, you clearly can't help but know all about Mike Tyson from his last fight with Evander Holyfield, and a lot of people wondering whether, in fact, it will be his last fight or his fight with Frank Bruno. Now, I want to ask you guys, if, in fact, as Mike Tyson says is the case, he believes that he will never be allowed to fight again, could you see him as a wrestler?
I could see him as a wrestler. You know, he likes to play dirty, you know, likes to bite, scratch, kick.
Yeah, but the difference is he bites for real. I'm not sure. You wouldn't necessarily want to go up against that, would you?
No, if worse comes to worse, I'd step in the ring with Mike Tyson. I'm not scared of him. Yeah. I'm not scared of anyone.
Right. But this guy beside me used to bite, didn't you?
Me bite?
Yeah, you.
No. I don't see what the big deal is about a little bite, for one thing. I mean,
so first of all, you deny biting, but then you're going, well, you know, if I did, it's not a big deal.
A bite, a scratch, a little something, whatever, you know. But as far as that Mike Tyson biting thing, one little bite, big deal. Jeez, making a big deal. Punching, biting, fighting. The guys are in there to fight. Fight. You know, look at the hockey players. They can do anything.
Honky-tonk. I was going to call you honky-tonk man, but that sounds too formal. Can I call you honky-tonk?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
You got a problem with the bite?
Not really. I think it was a retaliation. You know, if you look back at all the film, and you'll see that you'll see where his opponent kept head-butting him twice, 3 times, and Mike Tyson, you could clearly see that Tyson said to him, "Stop doing that." He told the referee, "Tell a guy to stop doing it." And no matter what sport it is, somebody's going to retaliate. I mean, if you get chop blocked in the NFL or the CFL, somebody retaliates sooner or later. Somebody grabs a face mask and snatches you down. Look at pro basketball. Look how that happens. I mean, every day you got Charles Barkley. If he's not fighting in a bar somewhere at 5 in the morning over a couple of strippers, then you know he's fighting on the court. Dennis Rodman. Oh, but the thing is, all these guys want to try professional wrestling. So you brought that up. Would Mike Tyson want to get into professional? I'm sure he'd want to. They all want to be in our business, but they can't stick. The majority of them come in, they last, what did we say, Jim?
One match.
One match.
Okay, well, let's, before we get comments on the majority of guys who try to come from other sports, let's take a look at some of them. A guy that all of us would probably remember is Dennis Rodman. I'd say you'd have to say he did a pretty poor job. There he is with Hulk Hogan. Lawrence Taylor fighting, is that Bam Bam Bigelow, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And even the Fridge, William Perry was in the ring as well. So these guys have tried it. Now, I'm wondering what you guys think of that. Not the specifics in the individuals. Does it bug you, the big money that these guys are paid and the big hype and the fact that most of them can't do it in the ring?
It bugs me when, you know, a football player comes in or a basketball player comes in and they get this big, huge money. More than I get, more than the Anvil gets, more than Honky Tonk Man gets. You know, I put 19 years in the business. Jim's put 18 years in the, I don't know how many years Honky Tonk's put in the.
21.
But there's no way that we get paid as much as those guys, and it's to me, it's heartbreaking because you know. Why don't they send me into a boxing ring, or why don't they put me on a basketball court? Why don't they put me in a hockey rink and pay me the big dollars?
Well, let me tell you why, Davey, because people will pay to see Dennis Rodman go into the wrestling ring. Nobody is going to pay to see you play in the National Hockey League.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Now, Mike, you might be wrong about that.
I might be wrong. Well, apparently if we're voting, I would be wrong. But I mean, I think that's the nature of your sport, that you can step in, because, let's face it, as much as your sport is loved, and I have to tell you, on this network, nothing draws ratings like wrestling. So I would never think to demean it in any way. It is still a sport where Dennis Rodman can get in the ring and can give it a shot. And if he's a flop, big deal. If he brings people in, that's all you care about. But that can't happen in other professional sports.
Yeah, it can't happen in other professional sports, but he still gets the big money, and he's a flop, like you said. Yeah. And one match, you know, I'll probably make a couple $1 million. Well, we don't make that. So, you know, what's the promoter thinking of?
Jim, you know? if you fight him, and you were fighting Dennis Rodman, would you... I'm liking the laugh. Keep with the laugh. Would you lay a beating on him more so, within the boundaries of what's acceptable in your sport, more so because of that?
For starters, I'm a professional, for one thing. You know, you say I lay a beating on that. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, you are in the wrestling business, the beating business, right?
Possibly, yeah. Right. Well, you know, the wrestling business, we're wrestlers. You know, I don't beat people. You know, to punch or kick, occasionally fine. But Dennis Rodman, you know, he's awful skinny, for one thing.
Yeah, tall and skinny. I don't know.
But most of these guys that come in, like Rodman or Fridge, or they're in the ring with the WWF superstars, and it's like, gosh, after that match is over, boy, I'm glad I'm done with this, and you never see him again. Yeah. Like, wow, he's like escaped that life. Like, oh.
He just disappear off the face of the earth. No more Rodmans, no more refrigerators.
That
you know.
canvas is so rough.
Yeah.
So you get the opportunity. So on one hand, you don't like them because they make the money, but on the other hand, nothing will give you respect, and your sport respect, than guys like that getting in the ring and going, wow, this is pretty tough.
It's not as if a matter of, I don't like them because of the money. It's a matter of they come in thinking they can do it. After 19 years, 18, 21, they can't do it. They can't come in the ring and do what we can do. Right. I can't go in on a basketball court and do what they can do. I can't go in the boxing ring and do what Mike Tyson can do. But
well, for one night, Mike Tyson did.
But for one night, I'm willing to give it a try for that top money, for that big money.
Right. Absolutely. And Jim, I apologize. I don't know how I could have accused you of laying beating on guys, given the nature of your sport. Off the record with these three great wrestlers and three great personalities. Back with more in a moment.
Off the record with Michael Longford.
Welcome back to the show. The letter addressed to me, but it clearly goes to you, the Anvil. Will Jim Neidhart be bringing back the greatest gimmick of all time? That being who? You wore a yellow mask and yellow tights. And then you went in the ring. So what's the word?
Well, I hate to disappoint everybody, but that wasn't me.
Who?
That wasn't you.
Who?
Did you see what was coming out of my mouth there? I'm like, no, it wasn't
I didn't see it. I saw it, but maybe I didn't hear it.
No, whoever that was. Yeah, people say, you know, geez, Jim, you know, you were wearing a mask. Well, it wasn't me. I didn't wear any mask, so sorry about your email letter.
It looked like you, and you are known to wear disguise.
Did you see any beard or sunglasses or anything like that?
No, I guess not. So clearly it wasn't you. Let's talk about the international appeal of wrestling, and you guys have fought literally all over the world, and that's part of the job description for WWF. Tell me about a fan in Kuwait as opposed to a fan in Red Deer, Alberta. What's the difference?
fans in Red Deer, no.
Go on, say it, Davey.
Go on, say it to me, Davey.
The fans in Red Deer know.
It's all off the record.
They know what the wrestling's all about. They know, Stampede Wrestling. They know the WWF, the WCW, but the fans in Kuwait, they're absolutely nuts. They're crazy.
Okay, hold on. Honky tonk. What does he mean? They're absolutely nuts.
I would suppose he probably, it means to say that they get a little bit more excited over something.
What does that mean? Give me an example.
Probably hard to control their emotions, maybe. A little bit unstable. You know, some of those places over in the Middle East are very unstable, and I can understand why when you take a wrestling match over there and they get so worked up and into a frenzy.
Okay, you got to help me out here, because you watch wrestling North America from Sky Dome, from Madison Square Garden. And you see, what I see are fans losing control. So if you're telling me in Kuwait they really lose control, I got to know what that means. Like, what are they doing?
Like saliva coming out of their mouth and stuff like that.
It means they'll shoot you, they'll stab you, last time I was there, they threw a brick in the ring, and I saw it coming, and I ducked, and he hit the referee, Earl Hebden, knocked him out cold. I was wrestling Shawn Michaels, and I said, this wouldn't happen in the States. This wouldn't happen.
It would not happen in Red Deer or Lethbridge or Toronto.
I don't know about Toronto.
Anvil, what's the worst thing that you have seen from the ring or walking in the ring or at a card that you were at around the world? And where was it?
The worst thing internationally?
Internationally.
I think Dresses Who.
The worst thing happened to me?
Or that you've seen?
Oh gosh, I've seen. Geez,
or that happened to you?
That's a good question. Well, I'll tell you, one time I was entering the ring one time in Muscat in the Oman, where we were just recently. And as I was going to the ring real fast, some fan grabbed me, touched me, and pulled me, and a big rusty nail went right through my leg, and I had a horrible time getting away from it so I could get to the ring. Of course, I was a lot younger then, I didn't know what I was doing too much, but that was fun. It hurt.
A rusty nail went through your leg?
Rusty nail.
and then you went into the ring?
I got hooked up.
You didn't?
I had to get unhooked.
I'm thinking if that's me, I'm going home. But you actually went in and fought?
Yeah, that's we have to go do that.
Jim's hooked on nails.
Honky Tonk, how about you?
It's not the foreign thing so much. I mean, these guys know. Madison Square Garden in New York, when you leave that building, if you're on the last match of the night, you usually have to get in some kind of a disguised car or the ambulance. They use the ambulance to take you out with the lights going. So the fans will leave the ambulance alone because they're not sure if it's wrestlers in there or not. But fans get distraught all over the world, no matter where it is. They get worked up over certain little things. I mean, it could be over because Dad lost his job today and he can't buy the kids any more milk, and then what are they going to do for school clothes? And then they got enough money to go buy a wrestling ticket, and they see a bad guy do something dastardly or some dirty deed, get somebody down, hit him a couple times, stomp him in the guts, and then they get all worked up and they start screaming. I had a little girl just the other night. I was in Seattle, Washington, and for some reason I took the tape off my wrist. I had the guy lean back. I was choking. And this little girl, she's about 10, 11 years old. She was screaming and crying and clawing her face. And I said, I'm going to kill him right here. I'll kill this clown. I was wrestling Dork the Clown. So, anyway, the kid was worked into a frenzy. For what? I don't know. Maybe I controlled her emotions for 5 minutes, 2 minutes. But that's what it's all about. It's sports entertainment. If we can control somebody's emotions, that's what we do. If Dennis Rodman can control somebody's emotions out on a basketball court, or Michael Jordan, that's what they do.
And all of you, the three of you, clearly respect that. And while you'd rather not have bricks thrown at you and nails stabbed at you, and you'd rather not have to leave in the ambulance, you got to know that you wouldn't be making the money you make because people wouldn't be watching if they didn't feel that kind of passion.
Yeah.
It goes with the territory. All right, get the nails out, get the bricks out. Here we go. Yeah. Back with more Off the Record in a moment. We asked our internet viewers a question, and we'll get the answer when we return about Honky Tonk Man. And if you'd like to communicate with us, we're at otr@tsn.ca. Fax us bricks, fax us whatever you want. Back in a moment. We asked on the internet, who's the greatest? Is it Honky Tonk Man or Muhammad Ali? 100%. What's the deal? I got to tell you that normally we actually just slide in like a 1% to make the guest feel good. What's the deal? That's terrible.
Well, obviously you've got some viewers that were products of American public school system or something. I don't know. And this free trade thing, they all just come on across the border maybe or something with absolutely no intelligence.
Well, the greatest, speaking of no intelligence, decided to get in the ring once with a wrestler himself. You guys, Muhammad Ali did fight against the Japanese wrestler, and I'm totally ashamed to say that I actually paid. I went to Maple Leaf Gardens and watched it.
Antonio Inoki.
Yeah, and that was terrible. And that's a bad thing for your sport, I got to believe, a promotion like that when it does.
Yeah. It was the worst match I'd ever seen. Right. He spent Inoki spent about 20 minutes on his back trying to kick Ali in the legs.
Okay, I got to ask you a question. Just legit question. No time for an explanation. But if you were to get in the ring with Mike Tyson, no rules, anything goes, what would happen?
I'd just go at him.
Yeah. Would you beat him though?
I'd give him my best shot.
Right. Well, you're in trouble if he gives you his best shot, though.
Yeah. Maybe bites the ear.
You better get in close.
Likes to nibble on the ear.
Yeah. How about you, Jim?
Well, listen, it's really a known fact that any wrestler really can beat a boxer once you got his arms.
Right. You just got to get in close, fight in close, right, Honky Tonk?
I know the Anvil could take him, and absolutely I know Davey could, simply because Davey has a tremendous wrestling background. I would just, take him down and ride him like a stud horse.
Yeah. You know what? Let's not go there. That'd be a good gimmick, though.
Until his tongue hung out like a long red necktie. Then I'd roll him over and cover him like a blanket. 1, 2, 3. It'd all be over.
Okay, best shtick in your sport. We took an informal poll around here, and we're going to pick for this one The Undertaker. I mean, he is just, he's been going with this for like 7 years, right? And it just keeps on working. Flashbulbs going, the huge gothic music, the whole undead thing, 7 straight years. Huge popularity based on his shtick. You know, when he was WCW, he was Mean Mark Callis, and nobody knew him. I love his shtick. What do you guys think?
I wrestled against The Undertaker, and he's for his size, he's 6'10", 6'11". He's very agile, very athletic. And,
the dead man.
The dead man. He can turn it on when he wants to.
Right.
And he turns it on about 250 nights a year.
Yeah, I like his shtick. You like it?
I think it's great. I never thought it would ever do what it did. It really surprised me. I think it shocked a lot of wrestling fans and a lot of wrestlers around the world that this Undertaker thing took off, and it's great.
Because he was the same guy as I said, WCW.
Right, it's great. It's great for us.
Nothing.
It's great for the sport, and it's great for him, obviously.
All right, best finishing move. Everybody who's any good has probably got one. And off the record, we're going to say one of the great ones is the Stone Cold Stunner. There it is. I like the sharpshooter myself because I have personally been on this set and had Bret Hart apply it to me, and it finished this show. What do you think?
You can feel the wrath of it.
Yeah, Stone Cold Stunner. What do you think?
It's stunned you. It's pretty effective.
Well, that power slam you give.
My power slam's pretty effective
too.
Davey Boy's got the power slam.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk, you did the
shake, rattle, and roll.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
Break their neck. Send them out in a wheelchair, man.
Okay. Well, how about the strongest guy? Strongest guy, WWF? What do you think?
Anvil Neihart.
Okay. Well, we were thinking Ahmed Johnson. What do you think?
No.
No?
No.
No?
No, he's pretty strong, but he's not the strongest guy.
Okay, who's the strongest guy? Now, I'm thinking, with Johnson...
but mentally or physically?
He needs to fix his underwear, clearly, but the guy is strong. There's no doubt about it. Strongest physically in your sport. If it's you, tell me it's you. Don't be bashful, Jim.
It's
Don't be
me.
bashful.
I probably am the strongest, but...
Jim, you had the bench press record one time, right?
Yeah.
Over 500 or something? What was that?
I benched 580 before, and I was a world-class shot putter for 10 years, representing the United States before I got into professional wrestling and football.
Davey boy, you come as a, clearly, with biceps covered, but the pipes are there. Let's see it. No, don't put the camera on me if you want pipes. Yeah, okay.
Look at that.
I'll buy that. Okay. So Ahmed Johnson, maybe number 3, but he's not number 1 or 2. That's what you guys are telling me.
No. It's between me and Jim.
You got to know how to wrestle, for starters.
Right.
The strength and all that, is fine. But you have to know how to wrestle.
Is it tough? I mean, you guys haven't had any problem doing it, paying compliments to other guys. If there's a bout that you could watch, who would you pay to see right now?
Right now, this moment, or what I've seen?
Either one. Give me one historically, then. What would you pay to see if you could go back in time and see it?
Myself and Bret in Wembley Stadium.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was...
83,000 people, outdoor arena. Sold more tickets than Michael Jackson and Madonna. Sold out in 3 days, bam.
Jim, who would you pay to see?
That's a good question. I would probably like to see some of Stu Hart's early professional bouts in Madison Square Garden. You know, the older wrestlers that did, you know, it was a lot different then, and I'd enjoy seeing some of that.
Honky Tonk Man?
I'm going to go current, and I'm going to go futuristic. The Bret Hart boy toy Shawn Michaels match that'll be coming up soon. I think this is going to be the one of all time. I think this is going to be the one to go in the record books. It's probably going to be the best of the best, and obviously Bret is probably the best of the best. Now, I'm not going to dispute that. We've had our differences in the past, but I really want to see him put the sharpshooter on the boy toy.
Well, they have had a great one in the past, and there's no reason to think that that one won't be great as well. Back with more Off the Record in just a moment. Time winding down.
No. Time is winding down simply because every time we go on break, Mean Mike, you have something funny to say, something that you don't like about what we do. Anvil?
Honky Tonk. Just respect my
No,
name.
you're Mean Mike. Anvil, would you show him what Stu Hart, the famous promoter and trainer of champions, show him this amazing role.
You take off your mic.
No.
I don't know the business. Relax.
Put it on him, Anvil. Put it on Mean Mikey. He don't want to be called Mike. Squeeze tighter.
Man.
Now, you talk about finishing a show and you want to finish. Davey Boy, the British Bulldog, probably the strongest wrestler in the World Wrestling Federation. Give him a finish. Give him a finishing move. Power slam him, Davey. Take him to the mat. Finish him off. That's Mean Mikey.
Let's go.
Give it to him right now.
Give it to him.
Oh.
Have you had enough?
I didn't hurt you there, did I?
No.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I think the question that all of us want to know is it feasible that you could apply the shake, rattle, and roll on me?
I could break your little neck.
I'm serious. Are you too old?
Let me check your neck.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.